The Sports Scouting Report with Lee Burkeen. Brought to you by Medine's Collision Center in Baton Rouge. Take control, choose Medine's. Grosse Savant Lodge, south of Lake Charles, the true sportsman's paradise. Treads and Care Company in Central, the tires you need, the service you want. Harvey Auto in Shreveport, Bossier City, the name you have trusted for years. And Gage in Baton Rouge. Get better connected with Gage. Here's your host, Lee Burkeen.
Hi everyone, you're watching the Sports Scouting Report. I'm Lee Burkeen, your host. We got a great show. It's the Manny Show. We got Cody Cryer on, who's got ties to Manny, also Vermilion Catholic, Acadiana Prep. We're going to talk about that. They're no longer around in Opelousas, but they were good at one time in Louisiana football. We've got Joe Cryer, who's one of the top junior offensive linemen in the state of Louisiana from Manny High School, and also head coach Jess Curtis, the head coach of Manny High School, 220 state champions, 214 state champions, runner-up in 221, and the favorite to win it in 222. We'll be right back with more of the Sports Scouting Report.
Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you. If you need a paint job or repairs to your vehicle, go see Medine's Collision Center located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana on Kincaid Avenue. The number to call is 357-7983. That's 357-7983. Your Baton Rouge Accident Advisors.
Welcome back. You're watching the Sports Scouting Report. I always enjoy bringing on schools all over the state of Louisiana, especially North Louisiana. We got South Louisiana every week. We got North. We do 3 a week. Be sure to watch Trey Holly in Union Parish, and Joe Spatafor was last week. We also had Jai Eugene from Destrehan and his dad, Jai Eugene Sr. Today, we've got a very unique family coaching tree. Before we bring Jess Curtis out from Manny, before we bring Joe Cryer out, we got a guy named Cody Cryer who lives in Baton Rouge, but his dad, Charlie Cryer, the late Charlie Cryer, was a great high school coach in Louisiana, played for LSU, was a tight end at Woodlawn when he signed with LSU, ended up being an offensive lineman at LSU. And we're going to talk about Bo Ryan and that experience, but I want to introduce Cody Cryer.
Oh, thanks for having me on.
Cody, thanks for being here, man. So you had the short trip today.
I did, 30 miles. It's actually closer than going to my office, so wasn't bad at all.
At one time, though, you were living in Abbeville with your dad, coaching?
Yeah, we've been all over. Really mainly across I-10, but he spent some time in North Louisiana. I was in college when he was in North Louisiana, so I was mainly Abbeville, Opelousas, Lafayette area. We're
going to talk about his dad, Charlie, who was one of the last recruits Bo Ryan recruited out of Shreveport in 1979, 1980, after Charlie McClendon retired. Bo Ryan, we all know the story of the plane crash, that they've never found the plane, and with the late coach from LSU and the pilot. But you went to Vermilion Catholic. You also went to Acadiana Prep, which is no longer around in Opelousas.
Correct.
But you weren't a football player in college, but you did get a scholarship in another sport. Tell everybody.
I played golf at McNeese, and I didn't initially get a scholarship. My senior year, I finished state runner-up. I lost in a playoff, and it kind of built my resume. I was able to walk on at McNeese, and I had a scholarship my sophomore through my senior year.
And he's currently a chiropractor.
I am, yeah.
In Baton Rouge at Sonye Chiropractic on Lee Drive is the main location.
Yeah, it's at Lee and Burbank by the Walmart, and Dr. Sonye's done really well. He's been there. He's been in the Baton Rouge area since the late '90s. I know he's had a few locations. I think we've had our office there since around mid-2000s, I believe. I'm not certain on it.
Y'all have a location in Zachary and Bruley.
Yes.
And it's Butch Sonye. I know Butch. Appreciate Butch allowing him to be here today.
Oh yeah.
I know you got a line of patients waiting on you.
I've got a few. I got a few this afternoon. Yeah.
Your journey with your dad. Your dad coached at a lot of schools. He coached a lot of them in the Lake Charles area. A lot of them all over the state.
Yeah.
What was it like growing up a coach's kid?
Build your social skills. You know, you move every 2 to 3 years. You're always starting over with people, and it's a win sport. And even late in his career, I saw him win a few times and still get fired. But it's a hard life. I know it's a big reason why myself and my 2 siblings have been so successful, and Chris is getting back into coaching my youngest brother, and my sister's chief of staff right now for UL women's basketball. So,
your dad left us way too young.
Oh, he did. Yeah.
He was at Vandy Catholic in Houma coaching with Tommy Minton, a great guy.
Yeah.
I know that you think a lot of Coach Minton. And your dad, I know, is still following everything you do now, and also your dad's brother's here today, your uncle.
He is, yeah. And I know he's really proud. It was tough, and the last few years of his life he had some health issues, but I know he's very proud, and I know he's happy Chris is getting back into coaching.
Now, I know Manny's one of the top programs in the state. We have Jess Curtis come on later, the head coach, and then your cousin, Joe Cryer. He's got a nickname. We're going to let him share the nickname, but Joe's only a junior. He's a class of 224. Tackett's really worn out from traveling. We would have had Tackett, but he just got back from USC. We're going to let Coach talk about that. Tylen Singleton's also a junior who is another big recruit. And Coach is going to talk about them. They got running backs. They got other players. But
they're fun to watch.
They're fun.
Yeah.
People want to know. They wanted me to ask you, just LSU fans, are you an LSU fan?
Absolutely. I didn't have a choice growing up. My brother and my dad's first coaching job was near Atlanta. And Dad, I mean, when you walk around in the Atlanta area with purple and gold on, you get looked at a little bit. So,
a little bit.
But Dad didn't give us a choice, and I enjoyed it. You know, I got to go to, every year, every other year, they did reunion things, and Dad played in the '83 Orange Bowl, and it was a lot of fun growing up. I mean, I got to experience things through LSU football that many don't ever get to experience. So.
You know that '83 team, and I know your uncle's here. He played at Leesville, the Wampus Cats. And he's got a great resume with Eddie Fuller and Kevin Mawai, Ray Smoot, Vincent Fuller. You can go on and on with the Wampus Cats and that program. But the '82-'83 team, the Orange Bowl, what sticks out to me was Alan Risher, and against Nebraska in that Orange Bowl, all 11 defensive players, Cody, went in the NFL from LSU. All 11.
I didn't know that.
Leonard Marshall, Lawrence Williams, Al Richardson, Eugene Daniel, Jeffrey Dale, who's a Winfield guy, North Louisiana, Bill Elko, just an incredible amount of talent. Ramsey Dardar from Cecilia, Louisiana. But everybody on that defense got drafted, I think, but one guy.
That's crazy.
And Eugene Daniel from Lehigh played 15 years for the Colts. Is that crazy?
Yeah, no, that's the first time I heard that. That's pretty awesome.
And your dad was blocking for Gary James, Dalton Hilliard, Herman Fontenot, Eric Martin.
I believe Dad played guard and tackle.
Yeah, they had Malcolm Scott, who was an All-American tight end, and they lost to Nebraska. I was a little kid, but I was so upset. I remember.
I think it was a one-point game.
One-point game, but they couldn't score. I mean, Alan Risher, the offense just couldn't score, but the defense held Nebraska to like 100 yards through 3 quarters, and they were averaging 800 yards a game with Roger Craig, right, Tom Raffman.
I've heard Dad say they weren't supposed to win. But
no, they had 11 on offense go to the NFL,
wow.
Which was crazy. But that was one of my favorite games of LSU, but they could not beat Tom Osborne in Nebraska. He had LSU's number. But your dad got a chance to be a part of one of the greatest teams ever that didn't hold a banner up,
Yeah.
But what do you think of the history of Louisiana football and following everything? And I mean, you got a crossover from Lake Charles and Opelousas.
Yeah, it was fun. I even, I went to all of his games, but when they lost and got deep in the playoff, we would typically go to a lot of games. I mean, whether he was scouting or just he was done with the season and wanted to watch. I've been in a lot of high school, not as many as you, but I've been in a lot of high school football stadiums.
You love it.
I do, yeah.
You finished at Acadiana Prep. Coach Barham, you talked about some of the coaches. Vinny, that's what Catholic Point Central now.
Yeah, Catholic Point. He's doing really well.
Catholic. All these coaches, any memories at Acadiana Prep, which is no longer around?
I'd say we only won one game my sophomore, junior year. When I came in my sophomore year, we had about 20 guys, and it kind of we all stayed together. So by my senior year, we had played 2 years together. And we were in a district. It was us, St. Ed's, Catholic Point Capee, False River, and maybe one other school. But we weren't expecting much. We didn't have a district game until my senior year. And we ended up, we went 7-2, and we got into the playoffs. We lost a close one, which would have, to Catholic Point Capee, it would have gave us a 3-way tie for first in district. That put us on the road in the first round. We ended up we went to West St. John and didn't stand a chance. They were great. And I think they went all the way that year.
I want to change the subject, talk about your dad.
Mm-hmm.
Bo Ryan, your dad was one of the last recruits Bo Ryan saw in Shreveport.
He was. And
tell everybody what you know about that day, what your dad told you.
It was typically, and he got interviewed a lot about it, but he was just being in the Shreveport area. He wasn't a scheduled visit for Bo Ryan that evening.
He was already committed, wasn't he?
Yes, he had already committed. He was supposed to originally go to Tulane, and got convinced to go on a visit to LSU, decided to commit then. And he lived near the airport and been able to go through it. Bo Ryan late after dinner passed by just to visit, and it was him and Greg Williams. They sat, visited with Dad, and it's in Bo Ryan's book, 40 Minutes to Baton Rouge, and they sat and visited, talked about football, and then that was it. He got on the plane, and
you weren't even born yet. I mean, your dad's a teenager at the time.
I was not. Yeah.
But that was an exciting day, I bet.
I can only imagine for those kids, that it's stunning being that you're one of the last people to see somebody alive. And then I was at a South Carolina game back in 2013, and it was weird because Bo Ryan's wife and 2 daughters, they were at the game. They walked them on the field, and just to be sitting in the stands, I don't go to many games.
You happened to be there,
and I was there, and just the connection, it even hit me a little bit. You're like, wow, they're here, and my dad's one of the last people to see him. So.
And your uncle's here, so he was a kid back then, and he got a chance to be a part of that too, back in the day. I appreciate you coming on. I want you to promote where you are. Are you at Sonia Chiropractor?
I've been with Dr. Butch Sonia at Sonia Chiropractic for about 1.5 years now, and we work on everything. We do a lot of treatment. We do some personal injury, and we just do everyday, aches and pains. So
a lot of adjustments too.
Yeah, quite a few.
Appreciate you, Cody.
Thank you.
Go Tigers. Go Vermilion Catholic. Go Acadiana Prep. And now go see Butch and them at the clinic. We're going to be back. We're going to have Jess Curtis, the head coach from Manny, and also Joe Cryer, who's a junior, Cody's cousin from Manny High School. We'll be right back.
Be sure to take your car and truck for all your tire needs to Treads and Care Tire Company located in Central. The number to call is 331-8144. Family owned and operated since 1971. That's Treads and Care Tire Company. Gros Savon Lodge, the true sportsman's paradise. Gros Savon Lodge has fresh and saltwater fishing, alligator hunting, waterfowl hunting, and eco tours located south of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Give them a call at 337-598-2357. That number to call again is 337-598-2357, and have the time of your life.
Welcome back. I'm Lee Burkeen, your host of Sports Scouting Report. Hope you enjoyed Cody Cryer. This is a family event today. This is the Manny Sabine Parish High School football show today. We've still got Jess Curtis coming on, the head coach. He's going to be on for 3 segments. Maybe we can talk Joe's dad and coming on. Joe Cryer. How you doing, Joe?
Doing good. How about you?
You're only going to be a junior.
Yes, sir.
Tell everybody about you. I know you play O-line, and you probably don't know this, but I watched you play at North DeSoto.
Yes, sir.
When you were really young. What, freshman?
I was freshman, yes, sir.
And you were what, 6'3", 4 then?
I was about 6'2", somewhere in there, 6'1".
But starting.
Yes, sir.
And then go to Manny, starting right away.
Yes,
Tell everybody how big you are now.
Well, I'm in the range of like 6'3", 6'4", about 295, and I play O-line. And I consider myself physical, real physical. So.
Tough guy.
Yes, sir.
You like to pancake.
Yes, sir.
That's good. I like where you look for other people to hit. You're just not going through the y'all run a lot.
Yes, sir.
So you get a lot of those opportunities.
Oh, yeah.
Is that fun knowing that we're going to run
Oh, it's
just about
really
every
fun.
play?
It's really fun. I mean, getting to know that you're going to hammer somebody running straight to him, it's nothing better.
You ever look at the stats that the offense does at Manny? Y'all have 3 running backs with 1,000 yards
Yes,
each.
sir. We usually average like 300, 400 a game. I mean, you can't do it with the people up front without them. So
I think Manny scored 78 in a game against a school out of Monroe in the playoffs not too long ago.
Sir.
78 points. Isn't that crazy?
It is. It's very crazy.
What do you think you need to work? You got another year. You're only going to be a junior next year.
Yes, sir. Just really working on myself and my craft and just getting better. I mean, staying in the weight room is the main thing, and just becoming a better leader.
You're going to be that true 6'4", 300 running probably 5 flat when you're done,
Yes,
which is
sir.
incredible.
Yes, sir.
You learning anything from Tackett, your teammate who's a senior coming up?
Oh yeah, I'm taking all of this stuff that he's getting, like the official visits stuff. I mean, it's pretty cool, and getting to talk to him about it and see like my future and like being with him. It's just cool being a teammate with him because I mean he's a great person, he's a great player, and he's just a good person.
Do kids on the team recruit their teammates to go to a college?
Well, not really
No.
yet, but maybe when Tacky goes somewhere or Tylen or me, I mean we might try a little bit.
Might try to recruit a little bit.
Yes, sir.
You're wearing one of your visits.
I am.
Kansas State.
Yes, sir. It's Kansas State. I've always liked Kansas State my whole life. I love what they do. I love the mentality they got.
Your dad and you told me y'all just got back.
Yes, sir.
Drove now.
Yes, sir.
Didn't
we
fly,
did.
drove.
Yes, sir.
Was that like, how many hours?
10 hours.
Go. Y'all hit a bunch of Dairy Queens?
We did not, but we hit some places now. We did.
Some Cracker Barrel restaurants in the
We
morning?
hit some gas stations and got some food every now and then.
What do you think of Manhattan, Kansas?
I loved it. It's not a very big town at all, but the facilities and stuff around there are just pretty great.
You like it?
And the people around there is great and stuff.
Now, you and your dad told me y'all got another trip. Y'all going to drive again
Yes, sir.
to Michigan State, Lansing,
Yes, sir.
and they've offered you.
Yes, sir.
And Kansas State's offered you.
They ain't offered me yet, but
it's
I'm
close.
expecting. Yes, sir.
But Michigan State wants you pretty bad.
Yes, sir.
So you ready for that drive?
I am. I'm real ready. I ain't never been up there, and I ain't never explored all that up there.
Are you driving? Or
I'm
just
not
your dad?
driving. No, I'm not driving.
You get to
Dad,
sleep?
I do get to sleep.
Read a magazine or whatever?
Oh, yeah. Be on my phone.
Your age group got the phone. And
Oh,
and
yes,
all
sir.
that, huh?
Yes, sir.
What do you think of recruiting as a junior, getting this attention?
You know, it's pretty cool. Not everybody gets recruited as a young player, you know. I mean, seeing all this stuff, getting to go on officials and all that, it's just pretty cool, you know.
In your heart, Joe, we'll ask you a nickname in a minute, but in your heart, where do you want to go if it was up to you?
I really like to go to Kansas State. I mean, it's always been a place I wanted to go to, and they really got to go in there. I mean, they're not really like they're perfectly rated, and they're up and coming. So.
What do you think of LSU in Baton Rouge?
Oh, I took a visit there not too long ago. It was good. The coaches were good. I mean, they showed me a good time. It was great there. I mean, I really liked it.
Nickname?
Big Hoss, yeah.
Big Hoss.
My coach gave me that when I first came to Manny, and ever since then it's just blown up. And
You like it?
Oh, I love it. It's a great nickname.
So when they say Big Hoss, you know, I mean,
Oh yeah, they know that. You
So
say
who
Big
else has a
Hoss.
nickname on O-line? Does everybody have one?
We got a dude who's probably gonna start for us this year. He's pretty good. His name's Big Cat.
Big Cat.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
Big Hoss, Big Cat.
yes, sir.
So 3 more need nicknames right now.
Yes, sir. That's right.
What is it? Does Tackett have one?
I guess Tack you call him, but he don't really have one that we name him. So.
Would it be called Missile?
Oh
Hit
yeah.
you?
Oh yeah.
What's it like having him as a quarterback? Because he's a tough kid.
You know, it's great. He's really perfected throwing and stuff. I mean, watching him, I snap out there every now and then, and watching him throw is pretty good. And he's becoming a better leader as it goes on too. So.
Isn't it good that he's doing it for the team, even though he's going to be a linebacker in
Oh
college?
yeah, it's real good. I mean, just him showing that he can do lots of things. It's really great.
Is there a tougher kid in North Louisiana than
Oh
Tackett?
no, not at all. Not at all.
I think that's what people don't look at in recruiting enough, is the toughness of kids, not just their stature and
Yes,
what
sir.
they can run.
There ain't many tough kids these days. I mean, and Tackett's he's really a tough kid.
He don't like to lose, does he?
Oh no, none of us at Manny like to lose. I mean,
It's
that
implanted.
winning. It's the winning mentality there. So
What's it like playing for Jess Curtis, your coach?
it's amazing. He's a great coach. He brings the juice every time we do anything. I mean, he's He's a phenomenal coach.
Energy.
Yes, sir.
Got those energy bars like Orgeron or
no, he just
9-hour
natural.
energy?
It's natural.
He's got some energy now.
Yes, sir, he does.
What do you think Manny needs to do to finish this year? Y'all were there.
We just gotta stay together. We gotta have a great bond, and we didn't talk a whole lot last year. We got in big situations and we didn't speak. And this year we're looking at that. We're looking at the unfinished business and really taking that to heart. So
get the 3rd state title.
Yes, sir. That's what we're looking for.
How do you like recruiting? What do you think of it?
I love it. I mean, it's really great. Everybody don't get to do it. So
you're not gonna get tired of these trips?
Oh yeah, I'm eventually gonna get tired of it. Yeah,
your dad might get tired of driving.
Oh yeah, for sure. We're gonna have to fly eventually.
Well, at least you go to Michigan State and it's not cold yet.
Oh yes, sir.
Because you can make snowballs in September over there, right?
Yeah, especially in the winter.
Who do you like in Louisiana? Do you like Tech?
I like Tech. Yes, sir. They've offered me. I mean, they showed me a great visit when I went, and the staff was good. And I think Sonny Cumbie's really gonna do some good things there.
Are you throwing the shot put on the track team?
I'm throwing the disc.
What are you throwing disc? What's your best throw?
I throw about like 115, somewhere around
Not
there.
bad.
I don't really take time to that, but I need to.
You look like you could be a 55 in the shot put.
Yes, sir.
You could be a 60.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you got that. You're just athletic, 290.
Yes, sir.
You know, there's kids that wake up dreaming to be 6'4", 290.
Yes, sir.
You got that frame.
Yes, sir.
So you're just trying to stay in shape. And
yes, sir. And I'm getting faster. My feet are great, too. So that's one thing that's good, being big as I am and having great feet.
Who do you think, final question, who do you think is another lineman that you've seen in camps that could give you a run for your money? You know, Louisiana guys. Anybody else that's you appreciate?
I mean,
or D lineman? Any D lineman that you like?
I mean, I ain't really seen nobody that's like just super great and all, but
yeah,
I think I can take up anybody I want to. So
there you go, Big Hoss.
Yes, sir.
Right?
That's it. Big
Hoss. You got to keep up with Joe Cryer. He's only a junior coming up. He's got 2 years left. We got the junior year and then the senior year. Tackett is a senior. Tylen Singleton is only a junior.
Yes, sir.
He's going to be one of the top 10.
We also got a running back that's pretty good, Jeremiah James, and I think he's going to be up and coming. He can run the ball. He's a good back.
Y'all had some good running backs.
Yes, sir.
London Williams.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just tons of running backs.
And running behind a good lineman, that also helps a lot too. So
great DBs and look, when you play Manny, they're going to run it. You just got to figure out how to stop it.
Oh yeah.
We had a Voiles on the other day, and they don't even punt. I don't even think y'all punt sometimes.
Sometimes we don't. I mean, we don't. Our goal is to not punt. So
that's a good position to have. Punter at Manny or Voiles. You can sit there and eat a sandwich and not have to play all night, right? Hey, Joe, good seeing you.
Yes,
man.
sir.
Good
Thank you for having me.
And that's Joe Cryer. He'll be one of the top 100 recruits in the country next year. We'll be right back.
Gage has served Louisiana for over 40 years. Let Gage create a custom-tailored solution for your business and become your partner in technology. Give them a call today at 225-753-4243 and help your business get better connected with Gage. Looking for a used car? Harvey Autos has 3 dealerships, which means 3 times the used vehicles. They've got everything from fuel-efficient compacts to luxury models, even hybrids, and certified pre-owned with a warranty. Check out John Harvey Toyota, Harvey Subaru, or Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City.
Welcome back. Lee Burkeen, your host of the Sports Scouting Report. Really glad. I hope you enjoyed Joe. Big Hoss Cryer, only a junior. We're going to talk about Coach, about Joe. Joe, there's a lot of players on this Manny team that's going to have a chance to play big-time college football. And speaking of the man of Manny, the head coach, Jess Curtis, joins us. Jess?
Hey, Lee.
Thank you, man.
Glad to be here, man. Excited.
Thanks for the drive.
It's no problem.
You got to practice today, don't you?
Got to practice this evening, yeah. So
appreciate you. This segment, before we get into that, you won 2 state championships, 14 and 20. You went in 21. You've been several times. We're going to talk a whole segment about your Dome experiences. I wanted to get with you each time you went.
Good memories.
A lot of good memories, and you've always won one after a year you might have lost one.
That's right.
Which you brought up, which is incredible.
That's right.
Change that mindset, go back, win it. But all this traveling you're doing in June, you know, June is the month to go hit the colleges because July they're going to be practicing. You got Tackett Curtis. I want to start with that. The LSU fans in Baton Rouge are just fanatical, as you know.
That's right.
But they're fanatical in North Louisiana. But you've been all over the country with Tackett.
We have.
Where is it with Tackett from a year ago to now with LSU?
Well, with LSU, it wasn't a great spot with the previous staff, just being honest. But the new staff coming in with Coach Kelly and hiring Coach House, which was a home run hire.
You like House?
Love Coach House. We were able to actually go on a visit last month and just to get to know him and start the relationship. And it was a wonderful time. Coach House is a great football coach, great man. We enjoyed it. It's just, the thing is, Tackett's far down the road. He's probably going to commit in July after he takes some officials, and he really likes Coach House. That's the thing. And so it was good kind of on that end. Everybody got to know each other, but I have to explain it to a lot of LSU fans around Manny. He's been with some of these guys a relationship with a year and a half, some 2 years, and you just really start to believe in those people and their programs and this and that. And so that's kind of where he's at. He's been honest with LSU, but he really likes Coach Kelly. He really believes what Coach Kelly's going to do at LSU and what he's doing right now. Loves Coach House. So Manny and LSU are in a good spot. We got Tylen coming along, Big Joe, and several players. So, you never know what with Tackett. You never know.
We talk a pretty good bit every year, 2 or 3 conversations every year. And we're just being honest. We're honest people.
That's right.
Prior to Kelly, wasn't so rosy with the communication in North Louisiana. I hear this from a lot of coaches. And I'm just they're trying to make up that ground, like you said.
Yeah, it's just a different regime, how things were done. And again, it's a new day. It's a new day in Louisiana, and I really like what Kelly's vision is. He brought us in his office, and I really like that's exactly what LSU needed. What he's wanting to do at LSU is exactly what was needed. And, so I think the sky's the limit. I'm going to be rooting for LSU. And, the lines of communication are open again. And it wasn't always the case in the past. And so I'm excited where it's at. And I'm excited to see LSU. They're going to do well with Brian Kelly.
Talking ball, what do you like about House? I mean, y'all get right into X's and O's?
Just, it's been cool. I've loved that, being a football junkie and a coach, going and meeting these coaches across the country. And they're all unique and different. And Coach House is extremely knowledgeable. I mean, sitting in there and starting to break down his defense. And I just love the passion he had as far as coaching up the linebackers, showing Tackett what he'd be doing and this and that. And, I mean, I just think he's a home run hire. He's extremely hungry, glad to be here in Louisiana. And I just think it was a good hire, man. I like Kelly's discipline and his accountability he's put into the LSU program. It was well needed. And, they're going to do well. And I know these LSU fans are going to be shocked to hear me say it. I mean, I hope they do well.
Yeah, I think they're going to win right away. Coach, you were talking about the trips, USC. You just got back with Tackett. Tackett would probably be here, but he just got back from L.A. But what was that like, USC?
Man, he went to Wisconsin previous, okay? It was his first official. Loved Jim Leonard and Paul Christ and that culture they have there.
Leonard's former All-American.
That's right. Yeah. And people don't realize that they had the number 1 defense in college football last year. Not Georgia, they did.
Miranda was there way back.
That's right. And so really liked that culture and program. And so he went and visited them first in his official. And then his second one was USC this week, and that was a tremendous visit. Lincoln Riley, he's done a great job since getting there and putting his stamp on that football team, understanding what that can be. USC can be scary when that place is rolling. It's a different beast, and so it's going to be exciting to see what they do. We really like that coaching staff. We were very close to them when they were at OU, and really, the deal is they moved there, and so Tackett had the relationship with Brian Odom, the linebacker coach, and Coach Grinch, the DC, and so those relationships just continue. Getting out there and getting to mingle with their players, Caleb Williams and those type people, and just seeing what kind of fit it was. And so it was a really good time for Tackett. Enjoyed it and had some good weather, that's for sure.
Pete Carroll had a dynasty going there. They haven't won since Pete left.
Yeah.
And it's either great or not good at all at USC. It's either like national champions or struggling.
And when it's right.
When it's right.
They have a Pete Carroll there, and a Lincoln Riley's about in the coaching game. There's not many guys that have that kind of prestige.
And they're playing catch up in California.
They sure are. But see, that's the thing. The difference is he just took the relationship from OU to USC, and that's what a lot of people don't understand.
Who else is in it?
He's going to Ohio State here, not this week, but next week. Reason being, Jim Knowles he was a DC at Oklahoma State, had come after Tackett forever. Relationship really strong. He went to Ohio State. The first day out on the trail, he gassed up the plane and flew to Manny, Louisiana. Now think about that for a second.
Guy.
That's right. They hadn't come after a Louisiana kid in years, I think, since the Wells kid. Came to Manny. First stop was Manny,
Curtis,
Louisiana, and great visit. Knowles is very smart, intelligent. His defense is that might be the missing key for Ohio State to winning this thing. And so again, we've got a great relationship with them. Tackett's excited to get there and see Ryan Day and those guys and spend a weekend with them.
It's going to be interesting to see how the season goes because all these guys are trying to win.
That's right.
And you lose one early, then the recruits are watching. You lose a couple early, and you're wondering where the program's going. If Kelly gets on a win streak early, which I think they can, all this is going to change with a lot of guys that are kind of waiting, and that's obviously going to help with everybody. But Tylen Singleton's pretty good. Your junior DB receiver, he's pretty good.
Very good, highly rated, one of the top rated kids in 2024 class. A tremendous athlete, can play anywhere in our secondary. We'll play him in man coverage at corner.
Measurables too.
Measurables out of the roof. He's 6'2", 190, and can run. Track guy, 200 guy. But anyway, he can play man-to-man out corner, and he can also play safety or free safety. So
we're going to talk about more. I want to get your thoughts on Joe, who came on a few minutes ago. I'm glad you got him 2 more years on that O-line.
Me too.
You like that O-line.
As glad as I am.
You got Swazi, some other guys on the team that are coming up. There are others. There's some other. We're talking about his running back. That's Jeremiah James, who's pretty good. We're going to ask Coach about his dome appearances in the next segment. In the final segment, we're just going to talk about Louisiana, and we'll talk some ball. We've got plenty to talk about. Jess will talk about anything on the show. We'll be good. We'll be right back.
If you need a paint job or repairs to your vehicle, you've got to go to Medine's Collision Center located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana on Kincaid Avenue. The number to call is 357-7983. That's 357-7983. Family owned since the 1960s. Be sure to take your car and truck for all your tire needs to Treads & Care Tire Company located in Central. Call 331-8144. Family owned and operated. It's 1971. That's 331-8144.
Welcome back. Lee Burkeen, your host of Sports Scouting Report. We got more with Jess Curtis, the head coach of Manny High School. Sabine Parish, man, great area. A lot of great people in that town. I think of Toledo Bend, but people don't realize Toledo Bend is not right there, but Coach, it's close.
It's close, about 13 miles away, not too far.
And you don't have time to fish at the best bass place in the country. Probably.
Really, everybody asks that all the time, and I really don't. I kind of get embarrassed because everybody around me does, but I don't. I'm football all the time. That's just how my mind works, and so.
Maybe you get in a boat one of these days.
Maybe when I retire.
When you retire, yeah. Coach, talking about the rest of the players, Tylen Singleton's he's doing some visits too.
He has. He's been to Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Arkansas. He's been offered by Michigan, USC, LSU. I mean, he'll have 40-plus offers when it's all said and done. Again, just we talked about, tremendous athlete that can play offense or defense. He just feels like his ceiling is on the defensive side. And so he's kind of we'll put him on the kid from East Feliciana in man coverage. We'll put him on the Gilmore kid from a man-to-man coverage, and he'll do a lockdown job. Or we can bring him in the box, and he can be physical and kind of mentor. He can kind of mirror attack as far as physicality running downhill. So he's one of those can't miss type guys, and I've got several more. I think keep talking about him.
I think he's the best DB you've had at the college prospect.
I've had some good ones. People
ones.
come to Maine looking for for DBs and running backs, and every now and then we get a Big Joe or Garrett Thomas, but we've definitely got DBs.
Garrett signed with Texas a few years ago from O-line. Speaking of Joe, he's got 2 years left. What do you think of Joe, Big Hoss, Cryer.
You know, he walked in the door, and that was the first thing that popped in my head. Big hoss. You know, just a good-looking kid. He's got that smile on his face, bouncing his step, and he brings an amount of energy to our team, our offensive side of the ball. But what he is, you know, he came from North Dakota that threw so much, and he's very good in his pass protection, very good in that. But with us, he put his hand down in the dirt and showed everybody he could be physical, and he is a mauler. You watch his tape, and I love Saturdays watching Joe clean up a play, and so the sky's the limit for him. You see the teams coming out of the woodwork real quick on him. Michigan State offers him out of the blue. I mean, that was a great offer. You know, Tucker's doing great there, but they're physical and they like to impose their will. And so those teams like Kansas State, Michigan State, they're the guys that are kind of leading the way for Big Hoss.
Yeah.
And you know, I expect many more. I expect for him to have 25, 30 plus offers.
Well, once the junior year's over, he'll get all the big guys.
Yeah, and that's it. You know, so. Pretty good prospect.
You've had tons of big-time running backs.
Oh, no doubt.
I mean, you've had London Williams, Terrence Williams. I mean, you got a great
AJ
one
Carter,
now.
yeah.
AJ Carter.
Yeah, and I got, you know, Jeremiah James coming, and Jeremiah James is he has such good running back field vision, things you can't coach. You can coach him up on a lot of things.
Right.
Some things you just got to have, and he has that. And he's gonna be that running back that runs the next 2 years for 2,500 plus, and so he's gonna be on a bunch of people's radar.
You like that he runs where he's supposed to run.
That's
too.
it. That's it. He just reads, foot in the ground, go. It's just things.
How frustrating is it for you when guys don't run the play called when you got guys pulling too?
Well, they're gonna
Big Joe's gonna pull every now and then.
They're gonna do that. That's part of our job as coaches
right.
to make sure they run the play the way we want them to run it. But then once there's times when you see a seam here that's just running backs that have a gift. It's natural, and that's what he has. And so people kind of, I told people when we lost Terrence, like, oh, you lost Terrence Williams, and Terrence he's doing great at ULL right now, but we had London. I said, wait till you see London Williams. And that's my thing here with this kid is London's awesome. He's fixing to do well at Northwestern State. Now wait till you see this kid, Jeremiah James.
And then AJ Carter went to Arizona State. Now at McNeese and doing really well.
That's right.
All of them are going to have a shot at the NFL. Coach, they just think Manny's just straight ahead. These guys can twist, turn, cut back.
No doubt about it. And again, just looking at where this thing continues to grow, the kids just continue to. I've got the hardest working group of kids. You know, everybody thinks, we got great players here, but the kind of kids we have are special.
Speaking of that, you've been in the Dome quite a few times.
Sir.
You got 2 state championships, 14 and 20.
Right.
You went 21. Talk about some of your best experiences. I know the wins are the better ones, but I mean, is every experience different for you going down there? I'm going to New Orleans.
I had a little adversity here. I had to fix that.
There you go.
Okay?
Got your mic.
There we go.
You got it.
Every experience, that place never gets old. You know, I mean, we can go 20 times. It's gonna feel like the first time. And just some great experiences watching those kids walk in the door for the first time and experiencing that win or lose. But you remember those victories. 2014, the school's first state championship was pretty special. Being a Manny kid, born and raised, and but the ones I tend, and I got to change this. Those losses, those are the ones that's what I remember.
Yeah.
I guess that's a coach in me. Just dwelling on near misses like the 2013 team. I thought we had that game won, and last year's game, we played a meet the year before, beat them at a meet, and then we come back, Coach Zeb and them did a great job, and they made more plays than we did. But those experiences are all special and unique. The 2019 team that Faraday kind of took to the woodshed, that was a team that was kind of in a rebuild mode, but because of the program and the way these kids work, and they were just able to bridge that year, and it ended up being a Dome year. It was pretty that 2019 team has a big place in my heart just because they weren't. All my talent was young,
And then Faraday had Dare Rosenthal and a lot of big-time players.
And that was their,
that was their best team ever.
That's right. All our guys were young that year, and what it did, it bridged us to the next year, 2020, where we went undefeated and took care of business. But
2A school, Faraday had 2 LSU signees that year.
They were very good, and Stanley Smith did a great job of that.
Stanley, what a coach!
It was a super job. That's the first time I went against him, and I was really impressed at how coached up his kids were.
He's not going to be at Faraday this coming year.
Well, that's good news.
That's good.
Like I said, Stanley's a great coach, and again, that was a great run for them.
When we come back, we're going to talk more with Coach Jess Curtis, and we're going to try and get a parent on, Joe's dad. We want to talk about Bo Ryan, because he was there at the house. He was there as his brother, Charlie's brother. But we're going to be back with Jess for another segment. We'll be right back.
Gros Savon Lodge, the true sportsman's paradise. Gros Savon Lodge has fresh and saltwater fishing, alligator hunting, waterfowl hunting, and eco tours located south of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Give them a call at 337-598-2357. That number to call again is 337-598-2357, and have the time of your life. Gage has served Louisiana for over 40 years. Let Gage create a custom tailored solution for your business and become your partner in technology. Give them a call today at 225-753-4243 and help your business get better connected with Gage.
Welcome back. Lee Burkeen, your host of Sports Scouting Report. Got more. Jess Curtis, the head coach at Manning. We still got to talk about some more players. You got a linebacker. You got a DN. You got some other DBs. We keep talking.
Yeah.
You got a lot of guys.
And again, these kids, we come every morning and they're all there. The lockers are full. It's 100%. But I know where they're at or they're there. And so that's what happens. These kids get developed. They don't walk in. Not everybody walks in like Big Hoss. Some kids have to get in that weight room and work. But these are some of the kids. Swayze Carhill, he's a defensive end for me.
He's built.
He's a big kid.
He looks like a weight room guy.
He is. He's a kid that has a lot of talent. He's a kid now with 2 years left. I feel like he's going to explode on the scene.
Big guy.
This year, as he's full time this year now, and he's going to be special.
6'3".
Yeah, big kid.
240.
Yeah, that's right. And he has that Myron Warren type burst, that first step that's so important that some kids don't have. And so Swayze's going to burst on the scene. I feel like across though, at cornerback's important to us. We like to play a lot of man, and people get excited saying, well, our guys are extremely good at it. And Jay Smart, a senior for me, had a really good year. He led the state in interceptions for most of the year. And Jay is we feel like Jay's got a shot. Schools, Mississippi State, people like that are inquiring in him just because we make him work. We'll put him in situations where he's got to win.
Not the only smart kid to play on the team.
That's right. That's right. We got several smarts. But, Jay's got a chance. He's very good, and he's got that cornerback mentality I love so well.
Light you up.
I walk the halls of the school looking for those DBs because they're important.
It's important to have those guys that'll play man in high school.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of them don't play man.
That's right, and we do. And we can show that on film. It shows those coaches that they're able to run their zone defenses, but yet they can play man because you're going to have to get man at some point in these games against these top quarterbacks.
Just to give the listener, the viewer, a chance to understand this, East Feliciana has a 6'7" junior receiver that's 230, runs 4.45 with great hands, and he's tough. Tylen Singleton held him to 0 catches.
That's right.
That game alone, you say, all right, we want you to play at LSU, Ohio State.
That's right, and that's big on his recruiting as we put that out there. We put that out there to kind of show that's a great player, and Tylen did a great job. A lot of times he was in 0 against him a lot of times, and those guys are coached up to be able to take care of that and understand what that means. All right, but
I want to ask you this. Talk about the DN before we forget.
Swayze. It's Swayze. Swayze Carter is the one I want to talk about. Got Swayze, and I got a group of linebackers that are really good and are emerging. Defensively, Lee, we brought back 10 of 11 starters on defense, and that's pretty cool. A lot of them started sophomores on the 2020 team. They were sophomore starters, and so now this is their senior year to bring back 10 on that defense. We're expecting big things. Tuesday's our day. We have a practice in the evening. We install. We're able to kind of put things in already in June that we probably would put at the end because they're so far along. So we're looking forward to being really good defensively.
I want to mention this. We're talking about all these big recruits.
Right.
But when it all boils down to brass tacks, 90% of your team are tough-nosed, blue-collar kids that are working hard. You got a lot of guys 5'11", 210, 6 foot 220. Weight room gives them 240, 250. Right. But you're made up mostly.
Manny-made's what we say.
Manny-made.
And then people like to say, "Oh, I'm picking." No, we mean it. It's kind of our standard, our mindset. Our kids are from, we're from the sticks, as they like to say, and our kids are all local and homegrown, and they get in that weight room and go to work. And I love program players, kids that come in and they buy in the program and they become a heck of a football player.
The next guy.
That's it.
Development.
Become the next guy to come in and carry the torch.
And your sophomores will wait.
That's it.
That's how you win.
That's
You
it.
got to have a whole 20, 25 guys coming up.
That's all right. They're ready.
You have a heck of a game, you just told me, week 4. Arch Manning and Newman's coming to Manning.
That's right.
How did that happen?
Well,
how did that come about?
I really struggled getting a non-district together. I had to go find 5 new games. I found 4. We have an open week 5.
So you were calling.
Just calling around the state. We're going to play, 5A Halton comes to Manning, 5A Sam Houston comes to Manning, and then 4A, we go to 4A DeRitter. But then I needed a week 4. And then a good friend of mine, Nelson Stewart at Newman, somebody pulled out on him week 4, and we kind of called and got talking. It's a long trip, but just looking at it, we felt like we could do it. We thought it would be neat to kind of see our 2 schools play each other. And, what he does, I have so much respect for what Nelson does. His program is always consistently good.
Yeah.
They're well coached. Yeah. And so, it's a good way for us to kind of sharpen, iron sharpens iron. It's a great opportunity for us to go against some great talent. They have great tight end, great linemen, and they have Arch.
Yeah.
And so, it's good for our kids to be able to go against them and measure ourselves.
I'm going to tell you what, your 10 starters coming back, draw this picture if you're viewing this. They have Arch Manning. They got the #1 tight end in the state at Newman. Mm-hmm. They got a great receiver in Kai Donaldson, who's 6'5", 220. Mm-hmm. And they've got Bornalong's youngest son, who's 6'5", 290. That is a heck of a matchup.
It's going to be a great matchup. We look forward to it. It's going to be great because it's going to make us better. It's going to make them better. Really feel like that. We throw in Tyler in there for us, Big Hoss for us, Tackett, and then the kids that I mentioned. It's just 2 good football teams going out there, a lot of respect for each other.
Y'all completely different type offenses.
2 different types. They're going to be,
throwing it everywhere.
Gun, and why wouldn't you with Arch? And we're going to be more of a traditional ground and pound and make you pay.
The clock.
Make you pay with timely throws and be very aggressive defensively. So it's going to be fun. It's kind of really contrasting schools and teams. But I think the people in North Louisiana are excited. My phone's ringing off the hook.
Big time.
Just wanting to be there and see it and just kind of be around it. And so, if you're around Mandy week 4, come on out and watch it.
2 of the top 3 in the state playing in one game. Well, actually 5 of the top 10.
That's it.
Isn't that something?
That's pretty special.
That tight end's going to be an interesting game plan for you. But also, Stewart's going to be like, how do we get them off the field?
That's it.
Because you need some clock.
That's it.
And Newman's, you don't hold them to any clock time, and that's the chess game, right?
That's it.
9-minute drives?
That would be beautiful. That'd be beautiful. Don't give the game plan away
right
now.
No. Well, I watched you. I watched Nelson. Yeah. But you know what? Great guy. I might go to that game just to go to the game, not just for the players, just the game itself.
Come on, we'll let you call the first play.
Come on, man. Maybe the Houghton game. You got a good quarterback you faced in Colin Raines. That's a good team in Houghton. Right. They've had 5 D1 quarterbacks at Houghton.
Houghton's always extremely good.
Dak Prescott started.
Coach Brotherton does a great job there.
The Brotherton brothers. Mm-hmm. You got one at Parkway and you got one at Houghton. Coach, anything else you want to share?
I just appreciate it. Appreciate this show. Appreciate the magazine league. We've again been reading your magazine since it came out, and appreciate all you do for high school football and these kids getting their name out there like that. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, man. That was Jess Curtis, Manny High School. Manny Made. What a great slogan. We'll be right back. We're going to have a dad join us. I promise him we're not going to have him on too long, but we got to share a little more about that Bo Ryan story. And he's the father of Joe Big Hoss Cryer. It's his dad. We'll be right back.
So, hey guys, just wanted to take a minute to tell you about Harvey Autos. If you need a new or used car, there's 3 great dealerships right here worth checking out. John Harvey Toyota, Harvey Subaru, and Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City. Low prices, honest people. Tell them Lee sent you.
Hi everyone, Lee Burkeen, host of Louisiana, the Sports Scouting Report. I'm really glad we talked him into it. I know he was kind of saying, I don't want to go on, do want to go. I'm so glad we got him. But Joe, we had his son on a few minutes ago, Joe Cryer, who's only a junior. What a good kid. Well, his dad has got a lot of history with Leesville High School, Manny currently. His brother played for LSU. We talked about Charlie, and his brother's son is with us, Cody, that came in earlier to talk to us. But I want to introduce Bo Cryer.
Good. Hey, Lee.
How you doing, man?
Good. Wonderful. Wonderful.
I want to talk about the Bo Ryan story because we had Cody on earlier.
Right.
All right. Your brother's son. But you were a teenager.
I was.
And you were around this whole Bo Ryan thing when they came to visit the house. And I take it you were home, or
I was in the 6th grade. That's been a long time.
Wow.
You can imagine. But watching the story on Bo Ryan, what is it, 30-30, or it brings back memories. It's funny. We were in Garden Valley, which is off of Mansfield Road in Shreveport.
Wow.
Woodlawn High District, and a knock on the door late at night. Of course, you didn't have technology.
Right. No computers,
so,
no cell phone.
You stopped at a payphone to call. Well, Coach Ryan had stopped. My dad was already in bed. He was a bread man.
Early.
Yeah, they got up and put that bread out early. So my mother, that late at night, and but it was Coach Ryan. And it was late, after 9, and weather was horrible, You
remember that?
Oh,
yeah.
Absolutely. And of course, I thought that was the greatest thing. You had a brother that was getting recruited everywhere, and of course, if it had been nowadays, you probably wouldn't have seen anybody Twitter and all that.
Right.
He visited for a while. What a good man he was. And my dad had a little rat terrier. It's funny, little rat terrier. And I remember the dog's name was Missy.
Wow.
And when the weather was bad, she'd tear that patio door down.
Oh, no.
And I remember he begged Coach Ryan. He said, "Please stay. Weather's bad. We got extra room."
Come on.
And he said, "Nope, got to hit the trail."
He was trying to convince him to stay.
He
overnight.
was, and he wouldn't. And next morning, my mother was the cafeteria manager at Byrd High School.
Wow.
And, of course, you didn't have no social media.
Right.
Nothing. And she was calling us early in the morning and said, "Don't answer the phone. Don't do anything until we get there." And, of course, you know the story after that.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it was horrible. And I guess we would be the last people to see him that night, besides the people at the airport.
In Shreveport.
Right.
You were telling me that Dennis Dunn, currently the North DeSoto head coach, was in the same graduating class as your brother at Woodlawn. I didn't know that.
He was, and what's funny, of course, I love Dennis. I coached with him the last 2 years. Raised with him. He used to beat me up when I was a little kid. Him and Charlie had fun with that. Oh yeah, but the role changed then.
Yeah.
So when I grew up, I dared him to. But Dennis stayed at our house probably more than we did. My mother and father practically raised him.
Wow.
and that's when he talked me into it and went there for a couple years.
And you ended up going to Leesville.
I
around
did.
Kevin Mawai and Ray Smoot and all those, Eddie Fuller.
In '82, my mother and father was originally from Leesville, and they wanted to go home. I had a grandfather that was in bad health, and they wanted to go home, and I was the deciding factor because I was coming into Woodlawn High as a freshman. So we moved back to Leesville, and what a great move it was.
Wow.
It's home.
Wow. And your mom's still there, you said?
My mother's still there. My father's been passed away for 12 years. But Mom still lives there. She came to the Manny Union game.
Come on.
I said, "Mom, it's going to be a sold-out crowd." But we got her in there, and she watched it, and that was the only one she made all year. She can't get around like she used to. But she made it. She wanted to watch her baby play.
That's good. Your son did a great job coming on earlier, Joe.
He did. Joe's kind of, we've raised him kind of like we were raised, and Dad, I can remember times he wouldn't even go to bed at night. He would travel to an away game when we played.
Did it all.
And get on that bread truck the next morning, not even sleep. So, and we kind of raised him the same way. He's a good kid.
What's it like being a coach and now going through recruiting? The emotions.
It's fun. I love to go. K-State was really good last week. Coach Riley spent an hour. He's the offensive line coach, Connor Riley. We got to talk about 10 personnel, 11 personnel, and it was good stuff. I mean, it is.
Any memories before we go of seeing Charlie, your brother, play at LSU? Any LSU memories?
Yeah, you talked about the Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
We drove. My dad drove.
To Miami?
21-hour ride. And when we got to Miami, there was a riot going on.
What?
There was burning cars and stuff, and we were thinking, oh, Lord, what are we doing? But what a game it was.
Y'all lived through it.
They had special forces there because of the riot. When the LSU practiced, we got to go watch them practice, but you had to go through special forces and all that.
Good memories there. Huh?
It was.
That was a good team, wasn't it?
It was very good, very good. They had some good players. You left out one, Lance Smith.
From Minneapolis, North Carolina.
That's right.
He was one of Bo's few signees from out of state.
What a offensive lineman he was. I love those offensive linemen.
I always remember Kannapolis, North Carolina was where he was from because Bo was from North Carolina State.
Right. That's right.
And he ended up signing. I don't know if they would do that today. But he signed even though Bo passed away. He signed.
He sure did.
Like your brother. Like your brother did.
Jerry Stovall.
He was a mean, tough O-line.
He was. He wasn't very tall, but
he was strong.
Played in the league forever. So.
6'2", 290, but I think he had like 500 pancakes at LSU.
Oh yeah, he was. And that's Joe loves to pull up, old guys that still like to hit and stuff.
Yeah.
But what a great place I'm at now, Manny's Manny.
Manny, yeah.
You're
only 30 minutes from Leesville.
That's right. I took a junior high job. I love it. I get to sit in the stands with my wife, and Jess has got probably one of the best staffs you can ask for.
But you're an O-line coach.
Right.
You know?
Let me tell you, he left out one guy that I want to throw a plug to, and that's Tommy Hall.
Okay.
He's the OC, and he's the offensive line coach, and let me tell you, my kid probably leave me for him. Loves him. So.
Come on. Well, you wouldn't want another coach to coach him.
Oh, no, sir. He's at home. He'll be there until we graduate, and he just loves it. It's a great staff, unbelievable staff.
Before we go, what do you think of the new LSU coaches?
I like them. We came for a visit. Coach Kelly's really good. Coach Davis talked to us for a while. Coach House, he don't even play defense, and I think I want him to play defense for him. They're a great staff. They are, and we hope to hear from them one day. If we don't, I'm still going to watch them,
Still be a part of it.
Oh, absolutely.
Louisiana.
Absolutely.
Manny made, Coach.
Right, yes, sir.
Leesville made, Wampus Cat, now Manny made.
Manny made. This is home for us now.
Good to be here with Cody, too, huh? Cody came in.
I got another nephew that works right around the corner from Marucci.
Okay.
Justin. Played at Ole Miss in baseball.
Yeah.
So it's got those two here, so it keeps us busy.
Well, Bo, thank you, man.
Yes, sir, Lee.
Appreciate you doing it.
I appreciate it. I hope it worked out.
We got you on.
Save the best for last.
Best for last. There we go.
Hey,
Bo Cryer,
that's the way it is.
his son, Joe Big Hoss, is only a junior. We're going to watch him for 2 years. We want to thank everybody. We're going to have our shows next week. Well, actually, we still have a couple of shows this week. But go to YouTube and watch it. You can go to Podbean for any of the apps. If you're one of those app people, go wherever you get your podcast, or our website, lafootballmagazine.com. You can pre-order our magazine. By the way, Tackett's on the cover. His son's going to be in the running in 2 years. But Tackett's on the cover, Tylen Singleton, all these players we talked about. Go to lafootballmagazine.com. You can pre-order a magazine. It'll be out late August. We'll see you later on this week.
Thanks for listening to the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee Burkeen.